Democracy or two-party fascism? Biden may be trying to extradite a journalist for exposing U.S. war crimes, and he may be inflicting mass murder and starvation sanctions on disobedient governments around the world to ensure perpetual global domination, but at least the people voted out fascism. That is, according to the fascists now in power. The two-party puppet show is always fake. Always, 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 always. When you get really into a movie, you forget it's a movie. You don't see the screen, you don't see the actors, you're enthralled by the show. Getting caught up in the puppet show is the same. Buy into any part of it and you lose sight of reality. As soon as you mentally justify it because you really like this or that Democrat or really hate this or that Republican, you lose your ability to see what's happening. You lose sight of the puppeteers and the strings as you clap along with the performance like a child. There is no meaningful difference between a government with one status quo enforcing party and a government with two status quo enforcing parties. We inhabit two worlds, the real world and the narrative world. In the narrative world, the US drastically changed on January 20th. In the real world, the world minus its narrative soundtrack, all the money, weapons, troops and people are moving basically the same as they were on January 19th. If President Biden had all the exact same policies and positions, but with a big Republican R next to his name, American conservatives would be ferociously defending him from liberal attacks. If parallel universes exist, this is definitely happening in one of them. The most dangerous predators are the ones you don't see. It's true in nature, it's true in interpersonal relationships, and it's true in politics. Everyone makes fun of America for having no social safety nets for citizens who've fallen on hard times, but that's not exactly fair. They've got the largest prison system in the world. Capitalism cultists talk about earning money like you can just dig it up in your backyard or something. If you need more money, just go earn it, like we're hunter-gatherers in an abundant forest instead of powerless subjects in an economic system rigged by and for the wealthy. The leading cause of crazy conspiracy theories is not unregulated online speech but the fact that the world's most powerful government does evil things constantly while keeping a massive amount of its behavior secret, and the fact that the mainstream media often promotes conspiracy theories. It's outrageous that people are allowed to tell lies on the internet and something needs to be done about it, so they tell us. After all, the only ones who should be allowed to lie to us are the government, the news media, the education system and the church. The US centralized empire seeks narrative hegemony as urgently as it seeks global hegemony, and for the same reasons. The mass media have been acting weird the last few years because the US is approaching post-primacy and various propaganda ops are needed to manufacture consent for the agendas which will be needed to try and avert the end of the empire. That's pretty much all you're seeing here. One of the most frustrating things to deal with is the whole well, hey, no one's perfect attitude people have toward mainstream politicians who literally facilitate acts of mass murder. It's like, yeah, my husband kills and mutilates prostitutes, but who has a perfect marriage? Bush's war on terror never ended. They just stopped calling it that. The only thing that changed was the branding. They just stopped using the war on terror label while expanding and normalizing the same protocols and operations. Now even relatively anti-war politicians openly support these massive military engagements on the other side of the planet which horrified peace activists in the Bush era. You don't oppose imperialism, you only criticize Western imperialism. Show me the non-Western power that's circling the planet with hundreds of military bases, waging non-stop wars and orchestrating the destruction of any nation which disobeys it, and I'll criticize them too. What are we to do about this? The answer is quite simple. Quit voting for fascists and socialists and government tyrants. Recognize who the enemy really is, and stop supporting it. Resist in every legal manner possible. A tip of the hat goes to Caitlin Johnston for her analysis.